Good afternoon, Savannah. How are you? My name is Tanya Scott Pilcher, and welcome to Financial Sins. It is so good to have you here with us on this awesome Friday morning or Friday afternoon, November 12th. It has been an awesome week. And I'm definitely going to share with you how awesome this week was by starting with last night. Last night was a gala event for the Greater Savannah Black Chamber, and they showed out. So it was fabulous. We had these awesome award winners that were present and definitely made it through the pandemic with courage and strength to be here today. They were awesome winners yesterday, and we just were, it was just it blew your mind. So I want to say and put a plug in on the beginning of this show on Financial Sense is that you need to, if you are a small business owner, you're an African American business owner of any sort, whether small or large, you need to become a member of the chamber. Marcelo reminded us of exactly what the chamber does, and that is advocate for our businesses. So I want to say, make sure that you all join. Go to their website or to their Facebook today. Look at the awesome photos that people are putting up. We had a ball last night, just being with them and celebrating, seeing everyone all dressed up, looking glamorous, out from underneath, and I won't say really completely from underneath our mask. Everybody had on masks, but of course we whip them off to take a picture and put them back on until dinner time. But it was fabulous. It was just a great event. Welcome to Financial Sins. I am one of the co-hosts. I am still looking for my awesome co-host to be here with me today. We are going to be talking about foreclosures and how to stop them. But until then, let me just tell you what I do out in the public. I am a 15-year licensed insurance agent, and I've been around the Savannah community for quite some time, making sure that people understand Medicare. But now I have this other passion where I am really talking to people about getting their stuff together. So presently, I'm working with many of the community just to say, hey, get your stuff in order. I am also an instructor for Get Skills. We do the insurance courses. So if you're ever thinking about getting your insurance license, whether it's property and casualty or life and health, Our business is able to help you get your insurance license or prepare for the exam, and then coach you through the rest of the process and making sure that things are going smooth and easy for you. We walk you through, we hold your hand, and we take you step by step all the way into the field and guiding you wherever you want to go in this awesome $1 trillion industry. So, again, um, I'm going to spend a little bit of time today just talking with you in reference to getting your stuff in order. And so, when I'm talking about that, I am really just looking at what we are doing today. Okay. And a lot of times we don't even think about tomorrow. So when we think about today, we're just thinking about what's happening around us. We're not thinking about our financial future, and what that's going to look like. So our financial future could be, who knows? We have no idea what it holds. But what we have experienced these last 2 years is that we have experienced a tough 2 years with COVID. And we are just fortunate to be here today. If we have had any issues with getting sick and still being able to pull through, we have had issues. But it should have made you think about your future, you know? And I always say COVID should have you thinking. And so when people are getting ill and into the hospital, and that is a terrible time for us to begin to try to put things in order when our loved ones are in the hospital, because now they're not thinking clearly, you're not thinking clearly, and uh the time is kind of difficult. And I won't say it's too late, but it's just hard. So we need to begin to think about what we should be doing. So I'm going to take you down my number one and number two, what we should be doing. Number one, to try to avoid and keep your illnesses and sickness down. We definitely need to think about our uh, we need to think about getting outside and getting some of God's fresh, clean air. That's what we need to think about. What else do we need to think about in making sure that we stay healthy? So we need to change our diets and make sure that we're eating the proper foods and vegetables so that we can stay healthy during this time. Because even a little cough, a little sneeze, or anything like that, people are looking at you funny and thinking that maybe you're ill. But going beyond that, when we look at getting your stuff in order, hey, Mr. Murray, we're talking about
Hey,
right now just getting your stuff in order. And those things, because we've had COVID as one of those things that we're facing every single day. So what is it that we can do? If you have been sick, you made it through and you're still here today. But are you still getting enough sunshine, that vitamin D? Are you taking any vitamins? Are you taking your vitamin C? Are you taking your zinc? Are you taking things to keep your body healthy? Um, I'm a homeschool mom, and right now we're dealing with the respiratory system and just thinking about our lungs and how we breathe and the germs and all of that stuff coming into our body, and just trying to keep yourself healthy and clean and fresh and away from the, I don't know, whatever the virus is. But if you do get the virus, that you have put enough good stuff in your system to be able to fight it off. That's how God made us. He made our
that's
systems
right.
capable of us
Fight that
being
stuff
able
off.
to fight
Yeah.
off a virus. Okay. And so we need to be able to do that. And then, if we do get sick and hospitalized, have you put certain things in order when your business still needs to be handled? And that could be something as simple as having a power of attorney to handle your expenses while you're hospitalized.
That's
You know,
right.
family really can't come into the hospital still. Sometimes they let you in, sometimes they don't. And well, how is your mortgage going to get paid, your lights, your gas, if there is no one in place to do that? And I'd like to, again, talk to my classmates who are 57, 59, 50, 60, that age group. We wait till, it's way late to buy our big houses, and our names are on those things. But we are looking at, sure, we may live to 100, but we may get sick along the way and have our homes all caught up in we going back to that long-term care stuff that we talked about last week.
Mm-hmm.
Be able to lose our homes and whatnot because we would not put our kids on our deeds or part of our mortgage or have that information or things in place, creating our trust and our wills. So again, Anthony, I'm just talking about today and putting our stuff in order. I know part of our conversation is to talk about foreclosures and forbearance, but
Right. Mm-hmm.
my passion right now is still, just getting your stuff in order because we are all facing the inevitable, which we all come in one way and we all have to go out that another way by death. And so we need to make sure that those things are in order for our families. And a simple one is to do a power of attorney, right,
That's
on
right.
your expenses.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. If we do at least that much, adding a person to your bank account so that someone can take care of those things when you can't talk, right? Um, and then possibly adding, and getting your power of attorney there, and then having a power of attorney for your health. That is getting something called an advance directive.
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
your advance directive, you'll hear them say at the doctor's office, do you have a living will?
Mm-hmm.
You need to put that in order too. So it's something as simple as signing a piece of paper, telling your family members how you wish to be handled if if you're going towards life support, if you've been diagnosed as terminal, how you want things to be handled. And again, it's called an advance directive. And you can get a free advance directive from the website caring caringinfo.org, caringinfo.org, and it will allow you to select the state that you're in and give you an actual advance directive that you can complete and fill out. And it also tells you that you should give it to your doctor's office so that they have it on staff on at their office. And you should give it to each one of your family members. So I'm going to stop here because we have the awesome Anthony Murray with us. And Anthony, while you're talking and bringing us in today, I'm going to see if I can reach out to Madam Flo and get her into the studio with us.
Sounds good. I was just trying to send her a link, so I was asking her for her email. Um, but yeah, so we're talking about health, and you can't really. And before I get into all that, let me say, girl, you did your hair. Look at that. It looks so nice.
Stop it. I'm
Oh,
being a little
okay.
conscious about it. Like,
Well, it looks nice. You let me know you did this. You're a married woman. You better stop. All right, let me stop. I'm on the plane. All right. But ladies and gentlemen, doesn't she look absolutely stunning? Absolutely stunning. Well, listen. One of my friends sent me. I don't know if I can find it real quick. Well, one of my friends sent in, who was it? It was Cynthia. Sent me a email or a text. I don't remember. It was a while ago, and it was about the different fruits and vegetables and stuff like that you could eat, and to really help build up your immune system. One of the things that I like, I do a smoothie almost every morning. Banana, rice milk, a little bit of honey, and then I have a bag of fruit that I bought from Walmart that has kiwi, peach, blueberries, strawberries, and I put it in this bullet thing that my son brought home, and I make a smoothie, and I'll tell you what, it fills you up. It fills you up. All right. And then I won't eat a regular breakfast. That is my breakfast. I'll eat that for breakfast. And I get around folks. One thing, let me say this too. I don't have time to get sick. Now, I don't know about y'all, but if y'all have time to get sick, well, you go right ahead. But I'm walking by faith. I don't have time to get sick. Has there been times when my body came under attack to something else? Absolutely. And it never lasts. It half a day, couple hours. Why? Because I just stand on the word of God and I believe the word of God. All right. So there's things that you could do, change your diet. If you're, especially with this COVID stuff, eat a lot more green vegetables, drink a lot more water, a lot less juice. And I should be one to talk. I love juice.
Yeah. Well, 4 to 6 ounces a day, that's enough.
That's
I didn't know that we were so much alike. I have a smoothie every day.
Yeah.
Mine entails banana, strawberry, spinach, with almond milk or coconut milk, and some chia seeds, and whatever else I can find sometimes,
Yeah, well, sometimes I put wheat germ. I buy a bottle of wheat germ. I put that in there.
Yeah.
Or I'll put oatmeal in there. And I tell you what, I can hear somebody now say, "Oh!" I tell you, you know what? It wasn't even a thing where you have to acquire a taste for it. It just tastes good. Now, I used to juice a lot. I'd use carrot juice, one apple, because apples are high in sugar. And carrots are also, they have a high sugar content. So you just have to use wisdom. But I'd cut it with cucumber, or because cucumbers are high in water. So I cut it.
Oh, I hadn't put cucumber in.
Oh, girl, let me tell you something. Now, the best part of the cucumber is actually the skin.
Yeah.
All right, it's actually the skin. Now, if you're having nasal problems, find yourself some radishes and wash them off. Don't wash all the red off. A lot of people, when it comes to vegetables, they like to peel them. You're throwing away the main source of your nutrients.
Right.
Just wash them off. All right. And I'll put 1 or 2 radishes in there. I used to have really bad allergies. But I never told. Listen, I used to travel and sing. And matter of fact, yeah, I used to sing. I used to sing all the time. I had an invitation to sing at the Grand Ole Opry.
Wow.
And I turned it down. This was years. This must have been. My oldest son is 27, so this had to have been 28 years ago, and or maybe even a little longer. And I nevertheless I turned it down, but we opened up for a couple of people in the gospel community, Helen Baylor and some other folks, and Ben Tankard and some other people, and but so it was real good. It was real good, and I nevertheless had these really bad allergies, really bad allergies. I could see Flo look like she's having a hard time breaking in. Though look like she's froze,
Okay,
even
well,
in the
we're gonna
background.
bring her in. All right, I see her.
You see her,
I
and
do.
oh, there go my sister. How you doing, girl?
I'm doing good. Y'all making me hungry.
What? And
Talk about that food, vegetables.
I tell you what, and I juice these carrots, a couple of radishes, apple, and I put some spinach in there or some kale.
Mm.
All right, and kale will give it a really sour taste. So you want to make sure you have
A little
balance it. Yeah, you want to balance it, and then I'll put some ice because I like it cold. And let me tell you something, it'll keep you healthy.
Absolutely.
It'll keep you healthy. Those radishes have vitamins specifically that target the membranes in your sinus area. And so if you're suffering with allergies and you always sound nasal, that's because those membranes are swollen. All right. Do some radishes. Let me tell you something else that we grabbed. Bragg's apple cider vinegar.
Oh, for everything, right?
I'm telling you. You know, I'll do Bragg's apple cider vinegar, maybe a teaspoon before I go to bed. And you know, it cuts the fat while you're sleeping.
Absolutely.
All right. And if your throat is itchy or anything, you have mucus, it'll knock that stuff right out. But and if you're having issues where you want to get off a little weight, you buy yourself some avocado and eat a small slice of avocado before you go to bed. The properties and the vitamins in the avocado will help accelerate your metabolism, and they cut fatty tissue while you sleep. So the first couple of times, what's going to happen, you'll find yourself going to the bathroom a little more. All right. But that's what you want. You make sure you drink plenty of water when you get up. And I'm telling you, that avocado start working and that apple cider vinegar start working.
Right.
You will see if you have a little stomach pulse, you'll see that going.
Really?
It'll deflate it. It'll deflate it. People ask, well, how you stay in shape? Look, I don't have time to go to the gym. I eat right and I walk a lot.
Yes.
I eat right and I walk a lot. Other than that, the rest of us just plain on natural. Well, you know, I was on a job where I was lifting around anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 pounds a day, but that was then, you know. But these little tidbits, if you eat right, you'll be saying, "Corona, what?" See, because the coronavirus, that thing, it's been around for ages. Folks, don't let anybody fool you. That thing has been around for ages. Right now, it has become a marketing ploy, and for somehow they've increased the strength of that virus, and then they developed a new strand of it. So don't think that this virus just mutated and developed, created itself. No, somebody in a laboratory made that, and who's getting paid for it?
Today
you have pharmaceuticals and all these other people. Man, they're loving this. They're loving this thing. All right. Nevertheless,
you're gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna shut you down. We're gonna get in trouble.
Oops.
Whoops. Hey, Flo, how are you?
I
Great.
am wonderful. I'm wonderful. I'm wonderful.
You still in Massachusetts?
No, I'm home. I'm back
Okay.
in Savannah. But the good news is I can broadcast it now. My daughter is moving back to Savannah.
What? Woo!
She got a job offer. She'll have her house by the time she gets here. Uh, December 31st, she closes on her home in Massachusetts, and then we'll be headed back here December 22nd. And everything's loaded
Congratulations.
up. She's just
Congratulations.
lonely, homesick, want to be home and with the family and everything because she has no one up there.
Man, that's beautiful.
It was a pleasure going up there, with the experience and everything. But I'm a little older. I just can't be traveling like that, like I want her all the time every month. But
I know.
so she's home. Hey guys, what's the topic of today? You know what?
I don't know. We were
You know,
talking
I
about
know
food.
something real quick.
Yeah,
What
we
happened?
we started out, because hey, my passion right now is get your stuff in order.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, we just went from there and we are ready to go into getting your stuff in order so that you can avoid what? Foreclosure.
That's
Foreclosure,
right.
definitely. And if
So,
you're under forbearance and you're ready to get out of forbearance, if you're financially stable now, what's your options?
well,
And
why don't you tell them what forbearance is? Because, I really don't know.
forbearance is basically given an opportunity, and I'm gonna read it to you so everybody understand it. Now, since we had this COVID situation since 2019, the banks and the mortgage companies have basically been working with the clientele. And a couple of ways that they have been able to work with the clientele is to offer a certain few plans. And the plan that I took advantage of was the forbearance. That means you make um, no payments or reduced payments. So my payments absolutely stopped. Well, mine was payment deferral. Mine was just deferred. So with mine being deferred, that means for 18 months, I did not pay a mortgage on one of my rental properties and one of my and my personal home. So I took advantage of the deferment, which means they basically put my payments for the last 18 months. First 18 months I hadn't paid, they put it on the back end. Now
So,
it's time to pay.
well, let me ask a question. So, that was one option. Was there other options that
There's other
people were able to
options.
take?
Okay,
So,
you can do the payment deferral, and I'm gonna just read it to everyone so you can understand it. I prefer to read it instead of me trying to ad lib it. Defer repayment of one or two past due principal and interest payments, which will be due and payable at the maturity, which will be due at the maturity of the mortgage loan or earlier upon the sale or transfer of the property, refinance of the mortgage loan, or repayment of interest bearing unpaid principal balance. So basically, what that does is it allows you to bring your mortgage current by delaying repayment of past due principal and interest amounts without changing other terms of your mortgage. So basically, the determinant, they're going to put all those payments that I have not paid, anyone else who's done this, to the back end. So now it's time for me to start repayment. So I took advantage of the basically repaying my mortgage started 2 months ago. I started paying and my payments are the same. So the payments does not change. Only thing changes if I did not have an escrow, I now have an opportunity to say I want to have escrow included in that payment. So I changed the escrow on my rental property to be added into that, which means it increased my monthly payment up to maybe about, I think it's like $75 more. So I don't have to worry about making sure my insurance is paid, my um, um, insurance and taxes are paid automatically by the company. Now, this is something that happened to me. So I went on and decided I want to go ahead and take advantage of the deferment. I'm starting my payments 2 months ago. I started paying back. Now, why do these people call me? My mortgage company called me about 8 days ago, well, on the 28th, and they say, "Well, we called because you've not paid this month's mortgage." I
Mm-hmm.
said, no, I did pay the mortgage. I sent that mortgage in along with my home mortgage and my rental property. So they said I didn't pay the rental property.
Okay.
So I said, okay, this is what happened to me. And I talked to someone, and they told me that I would start paying my monthly payments in October, which I started in October, did November. And I said, y'all need to check to see what happened to that check that I sent in.
Mm.
What they did was they did not include that in my COVID deferment. So that October payment was actually not added in as a monthly payment. It was put in the back end. I said, no, y'all need to bring that payment back and pay it for October because I started paying in October. So they made a mistake on their error. They corrected it. They went back, pulled that payment back that they had put in deferment and paid it for October. So I'm up to date, and that makes a big difference. Reason being, after 3 months of paying consecutively on time, I now can refinance my property if I wanted to in January. So I pay October on time, November on time, December on time. If I miss the payment, I can't go through the refinancing. So I want to refinance, pull money out so I can do some repairs on my property. So what I want people to realize is this: pay attention to your, to your statements, pay attention to your bills, make sure that you check on your accounts every month that everything's being paid where it should be paid. Because if I had not caught that, I would have been messed up because they wanted $1,000. I said, no, I ain't got $1,000. My payment should be 500 or something.
So,
You have to stay on top of it.
so my question is, they automatically put it on the back end.
Yeah,
Why would they have done that? Why would they have even?
because they thought that I was still under the COVID assistance. So what they did was, instead of putting it in October as a regular payment, they put it in
I see.
at the back end as a COVID assistance. And so it showed that I was behind in my payment. And I said, no. There was two companies. There was the preservation department, and then there was the mortgage department. So those two departments kind of were separate. So one was not getting information from the other one. And so now when I called them, they both got in contact with each other and realized they made a mistake on their end.
So they weren't communicating.
That's it. They weren't communicating. That's why people have to stay on top of, top of the bills and everything. You have to stay on top.
It's already predicted that a lot of people are going to lose their homes after this. So why are they going to lose it? If they did what they were supposed to do, defer their payments, and they did they do it wrong? If now,
no, what happened?
So
I would say what's happening is this: the ones who basically, if they're going to lose their home, it's because of lack of knowledge as to what they was getting into. So they didn't really research it to find out exactly what would happen, because they can either pay the whole lump sum up at one time. I had that choice of doing that. I said, nope, take that one out. Or I could do the forbearance plan, or I could do modification. So they have options. It's just that when they applied for these, they were so excited about not paying a mortgage probably that they did not do their research as to what's going to happen when I have to start paying back. I started paying back, didn't miss a beat. I'm paying the same amount that I was paying before I got into the COVID assistance. So it's just the fact, I think people are just not doing their research to find out if this is something that they really should use or get involved with, and they're not doing the research to find out what will happen, and that day will come where you have to start paying back. And if you don't have a large lump sum, but what's happening is this: the banks don't want people to lose their money. Okay,
they don't want people to. They don't want people to lose their money.
They don't want people to lose their home.
They don't want them to lose their homes. Okay.
No, they don't want people to lose their home. Banks do not want to become real estate companies.
They don't, but they're already predicting that there's going to be so much property out here that's what's going to change the market because there's going to be so much property on the market.
Right. And there's a lot of property on the market selling high. And believe it or not, people are actually, the market is pretty good for people buying right now, believe it or not, because of the interest rate, being at what it's at right now. So people are buying, even though the properties are higher, people are taking advantage of the interest rate, the low interest rate, which we will probably not see in a long time after this is over with. So
well, you know what?
It's going to come back.
I would suggest, and for me anyway, you have two trains of thought. And I sold real estate for 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you have your buyer's market, you have your seller's market. All right. When you're in a seller's market, man, the prices are up.
Mm-hmm.
The prices are up. All right. When you're in a buyer's market, you have more buyers than you have property. So the thing you want to look at is this: when the market is like it is now, and the prices are going up, you see the interest rates are going down. All right, but this is what I look at. And this is just me. If I'm buying a house, I'd rather wait to when those prices start to plummet. Interest rate's going to come up a little bit, but it's not going to go sky high quickly. All right. When those prices start to plummet, I believe in saving your money and waiting for an opportunity.
So
No, don't say.
You never know what the market's going to be.
Yeah.
You don't know.
I believe in waiting, but you have to some sort of way do your research, and you don't know what it's going to be 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years down the line, 5 years down the line. I would prefer to take advantage of an interest rate. The house is valued at $200,000. That the original person purchased it for $150,000. They sell it for $200,000. I would prefer to take advantage of a low interest rate on a house for $200,000 instead of waiting and then seeing what it would be. Because guess what? Property appreciates, right? So eventually that house is going to cost more 2 years down the line, 4 years down the line. When you had
usually, but when the real estate market goes bad, the values come down, the prices come down because the sellers now have to put the price at a more affordable pick so people can afford it, because if the rates go high, they're not going to go super high. They may at one point. Look, I was in the real estate market when the interest rate was 18, 20, and 21%. I wasn't crying. I was the number one producer.
Wow.
So I made good money, but the cost of the property was extremely low. The rates were high. Cost of property is low. So what happens if you save your money for opportunity? At one point, they're going to be almost like balanced. Man, oh man, what a time to jump on it, because those sellers want to unload that property. And now you can negotiate and get that price, that real estate for a lower price. And then when the rates go back down, just refinance. There will always be a real estate company that's going to drop their rates a little bit so they could sell more mortgages. I mean, there will always be a mortgage company that's going to drop their rates so they can sell a mortgage. Go ahead, Tanya. What were you getting ready to say?
So I'm just trying to continue. I'm trying to understand where we are. So right now, and I'm just talking about Savannah, the pricing of homes, people that are in homes right now, they are very high. So in my neighborhood, which is probably valued somewhere around just $140,000, $150,000 homes are being sold at $230,000, $240,000. So almost $100,000 over its actual value.
Sure.
So are you saying so if a person wanted to get out of their homes now, they don't have no place to go, but if they want to sell their homes now, is this the time to sell it while it's high? Or if they waited maybe another year, so the value of their home is going to go down? Is that what you're saying?
All right. See, if they sell now, they're going to really build on profit. They're going to get some good
They're going
profit.
to profit on their home.
All right. If they are able to rent for a little while, because the market, when it goes down, it's going to go down. All right. And then they could really take the advantage of of the prices of the houses when the market starts to go down. But it all depends on that individual. You know, a lot of people don't have good saving habits. They sell that house, they get that money, and instead of putting it somewhere where that money will keep accumulating for them, man, I'm going on 5 cruises this month, and I'm going to go ahead and buy my dream car, you know, and they use it on silly stuff, I call it. All right.
Right.
Save the money for an opportunity, because there will be somebody when those rates go down. I mean, they go up a little bit rather, and the cost of the houses go down. There will be somebody that's going to freak out, and they're going to that's not cursing, y'all, and they're going to panic, and they're going to let that house go quick. And if you're ready, you may not even need a mortgage, or if you do need a mortgage, it'll be a very little one. All right. And then the mortgage companies are not going to be so tight. All right. Because they want to sell mortgages. They cannot stay in business unless they sell mortgages, or they become diversified and try to do something else or along with their mortgages. So there's a strategy involved. And you have to reason within yourself, what are you capable of doing? What do you want to do? All right. If you have the money where you could wait, you sell your house and you have the patience and you know what to do with your money. Look, we've had, I don't know how many programs where we told you where you could put your money so it will accumulate tax deferred.
Right.
And then you could take it out in some cases tax free.
That's right.
All right.
You know, Anthony, I'm thinking this. Some people, you know, when using your house as investment, 2 ways. You can buy a house, stay in it for 4 years, do some remodeling, let that value of that house increase, sell that house, make a profit, $20,000 more or whatever. Now you go and you buy your next house, which is a bigger house. So you know that's using your house as an investment to get a better house, a bigger house that you want, your dream home. So that's the way some people, when they purchase a home, their first home is like their starter home.
Mm-hmm.
And if they stay in it for 4 years, that's usually the typical time. Between that time and it increases in value, then you go ahead and sell it. The profit you make off of that, you use that to purchase the house that you want. Now,
That's right.
Another way you use your home as a way to, to basically utilize for assets. You got your home, you got equity in your home. You can borrow from, that. And just make sure you have it set up where you can, pay that second mortgage off. Not wait over the original mortgage date, but sometime before that original mortgage date. But what you're doing is you're learning to basically use your home as a way to wisely use it for your assets, either as an equity while you're still living in it. So, if you live in a home, you need some repairs done to your home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's nothing bad about borrowing money from your own home in order to do those repairs, because you're improving what you already have.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's 2 ways that people utilize their homes for an asset way to build low cash value. Is what they do with that money, when they borrow the money. So you don't borrow the money to loan it to somebody. You don't borrow the money to go buy, just to waste your money. You borrow, and when you borrow, you want to make sure that you are utilizing that money in a wise way. And one way is to increase the value of your home. So when you're ready to sell your home, in my opinion, right now, if I wanted to sell right now, would be the best time for me to sell my rental properties.
Yeah, for a profit. No, just like in your neighborhood.
My personal home. Even my own personal home. If I wanted to sell that and get a better profit than waiting 2 or 3 years, 4 years down the way, now is the best time to sell, because the property values are going up, interest rates going down, and you don't know when we're going to see these interest rates as low as they are right now. That's why I'm working on getting my third payment in December on my rental property, so I can refinance and borrow money from my property, so I can do some repairs on it, and at the same time. But there's benefits basically coming out of COVID for the real estate market. Now,
that's right.
When it comes to businesses, that's a different story.
Right.
We have so many empty people that went out of business, and you see all these here. When you used to go down 17, you see so many businesses open. You see so many closing. You go down Abercorn Street, so many businesses closing. Now it's not a good market really for these businesses, because no one's shopping like they used to, because of basically COVID, being stuck in the house. They are doing it online. Businesses are closing down. So it hit, in my opinion, the businesses more, especially these small, mom and pop stores. They were not able to survive.
Yeah.
Some places I never thought would ever close, and my goodness, they closed up.
So we have Atara that said that that's what she did. Yeah. She sold while her house had, value, and now she's renting. So that is great.
Well, there's advantages. COVID has some advantages too, believe it or not.
Yeah, we just have to make sure that we took full advantage of that, and then pay attention to now when it's time to pay that money back.
Yeah. Hey, now, boy, you probably need to say that again, Tanya.
Pay that money back, right?
Yeah, you got to pay attention to that. Now, there's something else people should look at. This market is a very unique market. In the past, people used to negotiate when it came to pricing. When they go to buy a house, they're trying to get the price down. The owner's trying to keep it up a little bit. The buyer's trying to get it down. Those days are over with right now.
That's right.
Now, when a buyer goes to buy a house, these houses are selling so quickly that buyers are actually bidding. So the owner may be selling that house for $200,000. That may be the asking price, but he may end up with $235,000 because people are bidding. All right. So you have to use wisdom and be prepared. Second thing that I want to mention is this. It sounds cold, but I'm not being cold-hearted. I am a businessman. All right. You have to prepare. Get your ducks in order. Get your money in order. Make sure your will is straight. Your trust. You got everything in order. Make sure your monies are good. All right. Because when the banks right now are loaded with foreclosures. They're loaded. They can't unload them like they were before COVID. So what's going to happen? They need to unload these things. People that are playing the real estate market are taking the advantage of it. With the bank, you could still negotiate the price. All right. You put a few dollars in that house, and now you have a dream home or something close to it, or you have a good investment property. All right. So there's things that you could do during this COVID market. And when the COVID breaks, Tanya mentioned earlier, There's going to be a lot of houses that are going to be foreclosed. Why? Because a lot of people lost their job. A lot of people didn't use wisdom with their money. They had a job. They're still working. But guess what they did with their money?
They spent it.
They spent it. They bought Gucci and Uchi and whatever else styles are out there. All right.
They held on. They held on. You know?
Yeah, they bought the Rolex watch instead of a Timex watch. You know,
Yeah.
So listen, the opportunity is going to open up. Now let's talk about opportunity when it comes to business.
Okay.
Find a niche. See all these businesses closing. I don't look, people say, oh, the economy. Oh, stop crying about the economy. The United States economy will always rebound. If the Great Depression couldn't take us down and sink us, then it's gonna take a lot. So what happens? That means that as things open, there's going to be massive business opportunities.
Right.
And you just have to know how to work it, because you're going to, Flo said it, things are online, right? So you cannot open up a brick and mortar store or mom and pop operation without having an online presence.
Right.
Don't do it to yourself. You better have that online presence if you're going to open up a business. If you're going to open up a restaurant, fast food, anything like that, you have to make sure that you take the advantage of what is it, Uber Eats and all the other things that will bring food to the person's house. And you better set aside a budgeting dollar. You need massive money for advertising, or you need to pay somebody some money that knows how to work the internet. You won't pay as much, but they'll know how to get your business out there, and you take the advantage of it. That's enough for me. All right.
So true. So true. You know, and what we really want to do is just to be able to save people, making sure that they are paying attention to what you need to do so that you don't lose your home. You don't take your home into foreclosure. You know, you waited, you took advantage of the programs, and they're already predicting that you're going to do something wrong, and your house is going to go into foreclosure. And so today we're just trying to make sure that you know what your options are, so that you can reduce that chance of your home or losing your home.
Yeah.
You've gone through it, and now they're taking away all those programs, and they're saying now it's time to pay that money back. And so if you're supposed to pay it back, like Flo said, this is the way that you pay it back, and this is what you have to pay attention to in order to make sure that your home does not go into foreclosure.
Exactly.
And we not only have people going into foreclosure, we're going to have a lot of people that are going to be on the streets from the renters situation, and then those business owners. But on a good note, last night I went to the Greater Savannah Black Chamber Gala, and there were a lot of small businesses that were there and all dressed up, and
I forgot all about it.
It was an awards banquet, and yes, they awarded some of the wonderful small businesses here in our community, and they just made it through. And so some of them were talking about their stories and how they were able to make it during this time. So some businesses here are able to survive during COVID, or were able to survive. Congratulations. And then I also want to push that if you are a entrepreneur, if you are a small business owner, if you even just have a small business running from your home, network marketing business, anything, you ought to join the chamber. They are advocating for our businesses when they go to the dome in Atlanta. So they are advocating for us. They are making sure that we can grow. So we need to be involved. This organization grew from, I believe he said 78 people to 240 some people or businesses during COVID, so that had something to say. And one of the businesses that received an award, you all may see them on 912 Business. It's a Facebook site. It's called 912 Black Business, I believe, 912 Black Business. And I usually go there when I'm looking for something. So I was looking for someone to wash my car at my home, and I went there. I was looking for we wanted to do vendors, and I went to that site, and those three women just had an idea, and it has boomed. So they were one of the awardees last night. And then Edward Gresham, who we had on our show the other day, talking about how to save money with energy and so forth. He won a sustainable business award also. So it was just a fabulous night. And then for someone that we may know, won a legacy award, which was Dr. Lester Jackson.
Yeah.
A legacy award last night, which was so awesome, because he has been in business for several years. I think he said 27 years. And he talked about him not being able to, he left the Navy with one of his cohorts. Those non-African Americans went to banks in all these different cities and was able to get $200,000. And he came out trying to get his business started as a dentist, and no one would loan him the money, but where he is today. So it was, an awesome, motivating. Our speaker was Thurman. I was going to call him Thurman Tillman. No, Thurman. Oh gosh, what's his name? Was he was a legislator. He was oh my gosh, I can't even think.
Marshall?
No, Thurman. Oh my goodness.
It'll come back to you.
But he told a wonderful story in all the stress that he had going on right then, because he had a sister that had just been called, that just called him and told him that his sister was being taken to the hospital. And so, but he still stayed. He did what he had to do and speak for us, or speak at the event, and then had to leave. So it was just an awesome night. And so hopefully more of us will join the chamber. And I don't know why I put that plug in for them, but I just think that they're an awesome organization, and everybody needs to really, if you want to grow your business and be connected to some young entrepreneurs that's getting it right now, because we're getting kind of old, but them young entrepreneurs with their ideas, partnering with them on some things, and helping your own personal business grow. That's what we really need to do at this time.
Wow, that's powerful. Listen, guys, we are running short on time.
Oh,
let me ask you a question.
Last
week, can y'all text me the contact information of that person that was on in reference to the free work that can be done to your home? I got a person I need to give it to.
Edward Gresham?
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks.
It used to be up here. I was looking for it. It's down now. I don't see it anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll definitely send it to you.
All right.
It'll be in your, okay. I'll definitely send it to you, and we will follow up. Well, so good to see all of you today. And Anthony, you want to take us out?
Yeah, where y'all want to go? All right. Hey, listen, guys, we want to thank all of you for being with us today. Listen, we had a great show today. It was powerful. I want to thank the young lady. What was her name? Atara for participating. That's what we're looking for. People to become actively communicative and communicate and share and tell us what they do and what they've done and so forth. So, hey, listen, it's great to have you with us today. Thank you for being there. I want to encourage you, support this this podcast, support this Streamcast, who has a variety of podcasts here. All right. Now, how do you support it? Press that like button over and over and over and over, like you're typing on a typewriter. All right. And just remember, we're here every Friday at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. We want you to share, invite, share, and invite, share, and invite. Well, my name is Anthony Murray, and I'm one of your hosts. And I have with me the beautiful. One of y'all say something.
Tanya Scott.
Tanya, I love your hair too.
Thank you, guys.
I told her first.
And we'll talk with you later.
That's because you're on here first.
Look, we want to thank you guys for being with us, and we'll see you next time.